Hey y'all, this is MagMongoSlade, and because The Rock has never done anything like this before, I have also never done anything like this before. I am going to do a response video to The Rock's endorsement of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So let's see what the man with the largest arms in the world has to say.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Hi,
we
Rob.
are approximately 5 weeks away from Election Day, arguably the most critical election our country has seen in decades.
They say that about every election. Every election is the most important one, according to these people.
Now, that said, I'm going to be pushing this political conversation just a little bit more. Now, look, I've got friends in all parties, but the one thing that we can always agree on is the conversation and the dialogue, and where that conversation lands is always the most critical part. Now, this is something that I've certainly not done in the past, so I'm going to go big. You guys know me. If I go big. So, guys, I had the opportunity to sit down with Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris to talk about a number of important issues that we're facing as a country.
Okay.
I thought it was a great and extremely productive conversation that we had. And as a registered independent for years now with centrist ideologies, I do feel that Vice President Biden and Senator Harris are the best choice to lead our country, and I am endorsing them to become president and vice president of our United States.
All right, you need to see he wearing sunglasses so you can't see him blinking for help. Like, he's obviously being held hostage. Like, obviously The Rock is being held hostage by the Democratic Party because he's wearing these sunglasses. He's stammering over his words. He only stammered once, but it's obviously something up. So what took place in the United States before The Rock decided to break everybody's internet the next morning and decide he's going to actually openly support a political candidate? Well, the day before, Donald Trump talked about this platinum plan when it comes to like $500 billion to Black America. So then what they do is they drag out yet another Black celebrity on top of all of the other Black celebrities that they pulled from, pretty much all of Hollywood. There are almost no Black Republicans in Hollywood. So they decided, how do we counter Donald Trump giving $500 billion to Black business people? More celebrities on the Barbie. More celebrities. We're going to counter with more celebrities. It's not enough to have all of fucking Hollywood. We got to have all of Hollywood plus one. So infinity plus one. That's what we needed to do to fix our problem, to fix our democracy, to fix our country. All celebrities plus one more. And they decided that, The Rock, again, he said that he voted for, different people. I don't care what The Rock votes for. So this is not me being mad at The Rock. I'm not mad at The Rock. I don't care. It's just his desire to do it out in public is indicative of he wants everybody to know. But why would he want everybody to know? Well, he wants everybody to know to try to change the course of the conversation, because there was a lot of people who were stunned, stupefied. They were tripping all over themselves to hear that, Trump wants to give $500 billion to Black people, to Black entrepreneurs, and expanding opportunity zones and all that type of stuff, which I don't necessarily agree with, because it's socialism. If you're going to give people money, that's the problem. Okay? You make it easier for people to build their own. You don't give them money, because then what are you going to do when the money run out? For starters, you're going to cause inflation. But what are you going to do when the money run out? They're going to have their hands out again, like, we need more money. We need more money. That's the problem with reparations. Once you give it to them and they spend it, then what? We want more money. Give us more money. That was the problem. But because they can't counter the policy, as crazy as it is, they just decided, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to bring out another celebrity. More celebrities. Not better policy, but more celebrities. Not more freedom. Not actually fix the problems in these neighborhoods where stuff is being burned down. Not fixing, the judicial system or the criminal justice system. Nothing like that. We're actually just going to throw more celebrities at the problem. More celebrities on the Barbie. Let's see what he's got to say.
This past January, approximately 9 months ago, my old man died, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him, but he always said that respect is given when it's earned. So you got to get out there and you got to earn it with your own two hands. And that was my very first question to Vice President Biden and Senator Harris. And that question is, how will you earn the respect of the American people once you're inside the White House? Here's that conversation. Ice cream.
Now, Joe Biden has been in government a long, long time. He has been in government most of his life. If you don't respect him by now, I don't see how you're going to fix this. Now, Kamala, whatever her name is, she's been embarrassing black people for a long time now with this whole talking about rappers and, you know, whether she's a fan of Tupac and all that bullshit. Like, nobody knows anything about this, you know. But if you don't respect these people by now and they're in these positions, what can you do? These people are already in government. They're both already in government. You're not introducing a new element. You're talking about people who was already in government saying, oh, we're going to increase the respect of government. What?
Okay.
DJ.
Hey.
They know each other personally. DJ.
Hey guys, I got to tell you, well, it is so good seeing you guys. Senator Harris, it's a pleasure to finally see you and finally meet you.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to see you. I'm a huge fan of everything from Fast and Furious, all of them, to Jumanji. So thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for your work. Let me start off by saying, guys, I've been a lucky guy over the years in my life and my career to have been part of and participated in some real defining moments. And I've never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate.
This is a hell of a time to do so. This is a hell of a time to break your run of everybody liking you. Because there's a lot of people who don't like The Rock now. There's a lot of people that don't like The Rock. But hey, he can do what he wants. Y'all shouldn't. Let me say that right here. I make fun of Democrats a lot. You know, I make fun of Republicans too sometimes. You know, not as much as I should. But don't be angry at The Rock. Don't be angry. He works in Hollywood. What else? Who else is he going to say? What else is he going to say? The guy is held captive by Hollywood. All of his money is in Hollywood. Okay, he is a Hollywood actor and has been for 15 to 20 years now. It's over. You lost the Rock question a long time ago. Okay, so don't be upset. Don't ever fall out with people over politics. It's so stupid and so minute. Besides, his one vote, no matter how rich and famous he is, he only gets one vote. You only get one vote. If you are a voter, just vote against them. And then that's it. Doesn't matter how many celebrities vote for Biden and Harris. If they get outvoted, they lose. So don't worry about it. Don't get angry. Don't be mad. Just sit back and laugh at the clown show that is this Rock, Biden, Kamala Harris shit.
In my life, over my career. So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
That's fantastic. Thank you. That
means a great deal to us, for real. Thank you.
Really. Thank you.
You guys are both obviously experienced to lead. You've done great things. Joe, you've had such an incredible career. You've led, in my opinion, with great compassion and heart and drive.
What about the crime bill? Wasn't that a Joe Biden idea? What about arresting people for slanging weed? Wasn't that a Kamala Harris idea? Compassion and drive. These words are empty. They are empty words. What do they mean? What do they mean? What is compassion? Compassion for whom? And how did you show this compassion? How does the compassion that you've been showing, how does that translate? Is it just words and speeches? Because you don't like Trump words. He says bad words. No, like bad words.
But also soul.
Oh, God.
And you and I talked about that in the past and how important soul is. And Kamala, I'm going to embarrass you just for a little bit because I'm going to talk a little bit about your amazing experience. And you have been an attorney, a district attorney, a state attorney, a U.S. senator.
Why he looks
smart,
like he's reading that off a sheet of paper?
I've seen you in those hearings. And
he looks like he's
in my opinion, you are a certified badass.
I'm honored and thank you for that. That's a huge compliment from you.
You're welcome. Joe, you and I have talked about the relationship that you had with your father. You know, this idea of respect and earning respect that our parents have taught us. My dad always said, respect is given when it's earned. Question I have is, how will the both of you earn the respect of all the American people once you're in that White House?
By doing what we say we're going to do, by keeping our word, by leveling with the American people, by taking responsibility. When we fail, acknowledge it. We're not going to be perfect, but take responsibility. Say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I believe. And tell the truth. That sounds so basic. But the American people are strong. They're tough. They can take anything if you level with them and tell the truth. And one of the ways...
So can you tell the truth that the welfare state is going to bankrupt the country? That defunding the police is stupid as shit? Even me, as a libertarian, as somebody who does not want more government, it is stupid to say that you're going to get rid of the police. Are you going to say that these Democrat governors, most of whom are going to try to jerry-rig the election for your benefit, that these people have been dropping the ball, especially in Seattle and Portland? Are you going to tell that truth? Or is this more empty words? Is that, because that's the truth, that people are being terrorized in certain parts of the country. In Louisville, you got people, extorting individuals out of money. If I'm wrong, let me know. But isn't Louisville a Democrat-run city? Why are you have Black Lives Matter going around telling people that they have to give money to these organizations, or they can be subject to quote-unquote protests, which we know might mean a Molotov cocktail through the window? Who knows? I mean, be a shame if something happened to them, right? Is that the truth that we're going to tell, that the welfare state and the sense of entitlement that y'all have created in the Democratic Party is going to destroy the country, and it's already destroying the country? No, probably not.
We're going to do it is demonstrate we mean what we say. Our administration, DJ, is going to look like America.
My buddy.
It's going to be representative of all of America.
Absolutely, Kamala. How do you feel? How do we earn it? How do we earn it with our own two hands?
Well, to your point, DJ,
DJ. Are they in the same social clubs? Like, do they hang out with The Rock? They call him DJ. That's interesting. I find that to be very, very interesting.
It's about trust, right? And as we know, the nature of trust is that, like Joe was saying, and you've said, it's a reciprocal relationship. You give and you receive trust.
Yes.
And one of the foundations of trust is truth. You must speak truth. But here's the reality. Truth can sometimes be really difficult to hear. And for that reason, sometimes people don't speak it. But you cannot have trust if you don't speak truth. You know that as a parent. We know that as parents. You have to speak truth.
What are they saying? You have to speak truth. What truth? What are we talking about? What is the policy? What are we talking about here? What is the issue? He said, how do we earn respect? They said, it's about trust and speaking the truth. Okay, fine. Give me an example. Give me an example of the truth, the tough truth that Americans don't want to hear. Isn't it that about institutional racism? Institutional sexism? Are these the truths that people don't want to hear? Because these are the truths that every other goddamn Democrat are running on. Tell me, hopefully, Kamala Harris, who's the only one here apparently with a functioning brain, of these two, I'm not going to talk about The Rock. I'm talking about of Harris and Biden. Kamala Harris actually has a brain that still functions, and she doesn't shut down like a bad machine. So hopefully she's going to say something that has meat on the bone.
And as long as there is an understanding that it is being spoken not to confront, not to hurt, but to deal with things the way they must be handled, I think that has to be part of the core of what we do as we go forward, because to your point, we're facing as a country so many challenges, and people are grieving. I mean, people are grieving the loss of life, the loss of jobs, the loss of certainty, the loss of normalcy. And
all of these things were done by Democrats. Okay, people lost their jobs because mostly Democrat states shut down. Now, Republican states shut down too, but quite a few of them very quickly turned that around. Once they saw their economies going to shit, a lot of them started backing out of that. Like Florida just said, fuck it, we doing whatever. But you have a lot of these people who say, well, you're losing certainty and you're losing normalcy. It's like, yeah, because you snatched people's jobs away. It was the Democrats who did it. It was government who did it. Okay, and you talk about not to confront people. This is a talk about critical race theory and all of this shit about institutional racism. That's pretty much what she's saying. She's saying it without saying it. Okay, she's saying we need to talk about institutional racism, institutional sexism, critical race theory, 1619 Project, all that bullshit. All of it's true. You need to understand it and be told it because it's the truth. But you might not want to hear it. And we need to, that's how you earn trust. You earn trust by telling people they're institutionally racist or innately racist because they have white skin and all that stuff. That's not how you build truth. That's not how you tell the truth. That has nothing to do with honesty. Hell, if I have to fill in the blanks because I'm looking at the context of this conversation, and that's what I'm getting out of it. Because they're talking about all of the leftist talking points about reparations and police brutality and all that shit. That shit is true. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So I don't understand why they just won't say that. Is it because The Rock doesn't want his name attached to Black Lives Matter and all the rioting and shit? Because a lot of people have already done it. A lot of people have already said, well, The Rock supports Black Lives Matter and all these. You see black people now saying like, oh, The Rock is officially black again. Like The Rock has been reinstated as the first black WWE champion among a lot of people. And you see a lot of wrestling reporters, obviously, they're salivating. They're so happy because The Rock agrees with them. So let's continue because this is almost over.
Heal and get through this, we're going to have to be honest about what healing will require.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that Joe and I really do have in common, which is we're motivated by healing, but we know to do that, we have to be honest about what it's going to take.
Yes, absolutely. And
what did she say? What did she say? We're talking about healing. Healing from what? You say it's going to be difficult. Okay, what makes it difficult? What's it going to take? What did you mean? Are you talking about reparations? Is that what we're talking about here? Reparations? Because that's pretty much what the fuck Trump doing. Trump is pretty much doing $500 billion in reparations. So what are we talking about here with Kamala and good old Joe? Uncle Joe. What is going on here? What are they talking about? They're not talking about anything.
And to that point, when you're honest with a scenario and people who you care about, and obviously you guys, all of us care deeply about our American people, that when you mention the word decency, you mention the word respect and honesty, dealing with this, but it's also, it leads right into making progress, but through a humanity, and how important that progress is, but through humanity. And thank you for saying that.
What? What does any of this mean? These people are speaking for themselves. They are so vapid. They are so empty. Everything they say does not mean anything. Okay? They have not said anything that matters yet. And it's almost over. Talk about decency. Respect. Respect for who? Respect for what? Certainly not the Constitution that you want to walk all over. Certainly not for limited government. Certainly not for freedom. Certainly not for individual rights. They have come out against every form of fucking individual rights imaginable. What is going on here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I beg you in these last few seconds, explain to me what the fuck we're talking about here.
Truth and progress through humanity. I like the tie-in there of what Vice President Biden and Senator Harris said about truth. Because as we all seek the truth and as we all want to do our best to speak truthfully to each other, it's not to confront, it's not to hurt, but it's to make progress. And, you know, to me, there's a lot of ways that we as a human race can make progress. But the most powerful way for us to make progress, to me, is through humanity, is through decency. Progress through humanity, progress through decency, through equality, progress through kindness, because kindness matters.
None of these words mean anything. They're all just words. Progressing from what to what? Sorry, y'all, I'm outside. But progress from what to what? Okay? Kindness for who? Kindness for what? What does any of these? You have to tie these words together. They have to have meaning. Tie them to something. Tie them to a policy. Tie them to a person. Tie them to an organization, an institution. What? Okay, what does any of this shit mean? Does this shit have a meaning? Or am I asking for too much? I got a feeling that I was asking for too much. This is pretty much over.
I appreciate you guys joining me in this conversation here, and there is much more to come.
I appreciate you too, Rock. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rock. Thank you so much, buddy.
Happy Sunday.
Good job, buddy. You did a good job. You came in the clutch. Trump was talking about giving away money. You're talking about giving away kindness and respect and earning respect and blah, 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 blah. A bunch of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. I hate to say this, man, but I'm ending this video with a lot less respect for The Rock than I did when I began it. And I still don't dislike him. But you're not talking about anything. This was a puff piece. It was not just a puff piece. It was some of the most uninteresting shit ever, because you didn't say anything. Neither one of you people who were talking said anything. Nothing was said. What respect? What kind of respect? For who? It just, nothing matters. Nothing matters. This is why I don't vote. Nothing matters. If you can't tell me why you're supporting them because because you want progress and to heal, but you won't say what the wound that you're healing is. You won't say progressing from what to what. You say, oh, it's about taking responsibility. So then take responsibility and tell Portland to stop burning. And been burning for fucking 100 and some odd days. What about Seattle? You won't do anything about that. For starters, you can't. So what are we doing here? We're blowing smoke up people's ass. This is an illusion. All this is an illusion. It's fake. It's phony. The bottom line is they didn't know what else to do after Trump came out with the whole giving money to black people. So they just decided, fuck it, we're going to call in The Rock. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call in The Rock because, I mean, what else can we do? All right, y'all. Thank you guys for listening. This was a very special report from MagMongoSlade. And please, again, do not take The Rock's voting thing personally. It's empty. It's stupid. This is a business decision. It looks to me like he was reading off of a cue card because he probably didn't know that Kamala Harris had done all this stuff. He didn't look at her record. He didn't ask her about anything about her record. It was a complete puff piece. It's bullshit. It's business. Okay? Politics is business that includes ruining the lives of everybody else. Don't take this personally. Do not take what wrestlers and celebrities and stuff are doing personally. All you can do is, if you choose to boycott or something like that, not watch The Rock's movies anymore, that's up to you. But I think that's kind of childish. Like I said, he only gets one vote. His one vote can be countered by somebody else's vote. Just vote against him. And if this makes you angry, vote harder. But I don't vote, so I don't care. But thank you guys for listening. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later.